Hello and welcome to the June episode of Gaga Knits. My name's Anita and this is where I share not only my knitting but other crafts too. And this month I have some knitting, hand sewing, dressmaking, some acquisitions and a book to share with you. Now the first 3 projects I took away in our camp pod last month. We are new caravanners. We have bought a camp pod at the end of last year and we are starting to go away in it. So I took 3 projects with me. I didn't make much progress on any of them because I've discovered I prefer to read when I'm away. Just sit and relax with a cup of tea and read a book. But I'll always take craft projects with me just in case. So although I took these projects away with me, the work I've put into them has mainly been since I got back. Now the first one, knitting, is a finished object and I made the lace design headband by Trisha Fothergill, and I bought this as a kit in Wonderwool because I really loved the colour of the yarn. I think it's called Weardale and it's in lichen, and here it is finished. It's just the nicest colour green, my favourite. And on the pattern you were supposed to put a button, but I didn't like that. I really enjoyed making it and I liked the lace work on it. I washed and blocked it and it did stretch out a little bit, but I wanted to be able to see the pattern nicely. I'll try and put it on, but I've had my hair cut and this would be better, I think, with longer hair. So I've never had one of these, so I'm not quite sure how to wear it, whether I should wear it like that or maybe with a bit of hair out over my ears. But when my hair grows longer, I think it'll look nicer because at the moment it sort of sticks it out and makes it look a bit strange. But I really do like that. I think I should be able to wear it in the summer just to keep my hair back, but also in the winter to keep my ears warm. Right, better put my glasses back on because I can't see you. That was my only knitting and it's a finish, so that's good. And moving on to the hand stitching, I've got 2 projects. Now the first one, quite a while ago, I bought a kit again for the Scrappy Square miniature quilt and it's from LTW Miniatures, and I made a quilt cover for my doll's house family, mum and dad, and they love it, they're very happy with it. And I decided, as I had quite a lot of little squares, it's English paper piecing, quite a lot of little squares of fabric left, that I would make a little quilt for both of the little boys who live in the doll's house. So I have done one for Jack, doll's house Jack that is, and then I will start on a little one for doll's house Harry. The other hand sewing project I am doing is quilting as you go, and I have been inspired by Penny from Penny's Chinwag and also Helen from Mousy Makes, as they've both done some really nice not English paper piecing, quilting as you go patterns. Now Penny recommended this company, Daisy and Grace, to get the quilt as you go square. So I did that, bought the 4-inch one, and it's basically 2, it's really hard to show you because they're clear, but 2 plastic squares, one fits inside the other. So with the big square you cut out the backing fabric and it has these little edges, and then with the smaller square you cut out your front piece of fabric and also the wadding, and then you sort of pin those together like that, and then you have to fold this fabric over, I'll have to show you up here, over and over again, and then you do that all the way around, and then they turn out like these. So you've got the backing fabric and then your fabric on the front. Now I am using the little cross stitch months of the year that I made several years ago and put them around a tablecloth, but I wasn't really using it, so I've cut them and put them in there. I've done 9 so far, and I will put a little picture in to show you all 9. And I'm working on March, and then obviously I've got 2 left to do. I started in January and February, and then I thought, well, I'll start with June because then I could show you each month, but I enjoy doing it so much. I've gone from June all the way to December. Now I've had to go back, and I've just got March, April, I think, and May left to do. So that's quite enjoyable stitching. Then every now and again I feel in the mood to have a go at dressmaking again, and I do. I try my best, it goes wrong, I give up, and then I don't bother with doing it again for several months, and this month is no exception. I decided I was going to make the Simplicity S9041, which is that pattern. And I wanted to do that for you. If you look closely, that is a ruffle on the bottom of the skirt, and yet on the line drawings, none of them have that ruffle, and there isn't a piece, there isn't a pattern piece in the envelope for that ruffle. And I know you could just do it yourself, but it's a bit wrong, I think, to put it on the front and it not actually be part of the pattern. The bodice is a wrap over, and I've chosen the long sleeves with cuffs, and then there's a little collar. I don't know what sort of collar you'd call that, mandarin collar, and then there were ties, but I didn't have enough fabric. So I tried really hard to get this pattern to fit me well. I did 3 toiles of the bodice because of the wrap. I did a 14, a 12 and a 10, and then I settled for the 12, but I brought the sides in to a size 10 at the waist. I took 1 inch out of the shoulder because I've got narrow shoulders, which meant I had to adjust the arm size, so I did this, the cutting it and spreading it. That all worked well. I struggled a bit with the instructions for the collar. All the rest were very straightforward, but I found on Minerva Crafts they'd done a tutorial, so I followed that, so that was all right, and everything was going well. Each time I did a stage I was thinking, well, I haven't made a mistake yet, and keep thinking I'm going to make it in the next stage, but I didn't. Sewed it all together. There's no zips or anything because of the wrap. Tried it on, and this just gaped open. There was no way you could even put a top under it because it was just awful. I think maybe I did the size too small, and if I'd done a bigger size it would have wrapped over more. I've got a couple of Popsy dresses and their wrap, and the wrap goes right over to the seams, and I think that would be better, but I don't know if I did this pattern again, if I did that, if it would make all the rest of the bodice not lie properly. I don't really have enough experience to know how to do it. So anyway, that annoyed me. I couldn't cope with that. I thought, right, I'm going to have to take it apart and think of something, but I'd overlocked everywhere, so I just cut it off, and now I have a very short top. And then I thought I'd elasticate the skirt, at least wear that, but because there's not that much gather in it, that doesn't look right either. So it's absolutely, well, it's an absolute disaster. But I did learn a few things. I've learnt now how to take in the shoulder and how then to adjust the arm size. So I'm learning every time. Well, they say you learn from your mistakes, and I make a lot when it comes to sewing. I just can't understand how people make it so they learn so quickly and seem to make things that fit. And if I buy things from a shop, they fit. So why can't I make them to fit? Very, very frustrating. But never mind. On to acquisitions. Now, when we went away in the pod the last time, we went to Wells, which is the smallest city in England, not in Britain, because I think that's St David's in West Wales. I might be wrong, but I think that's right. And there was a little shop there called, I think it's just called the Wool Shop. It was down a little side road and Martin spotted it. So we went in to have a look, and I wasn't going to buy anything, but Martin said you should support small shops. So who am I to argue? So I did buy a couple of things. I bought a ball of wool, this opal, and I really like the colours of that. It is 100 grams and it is, I think it's 75% virgin wool and 25% polyamide. And I like the look of that sock. I don't know how you would do that one with the pattern on the side. I don't know if you must have to knit the sock sideways, so that's a bit strange. But I do like that. So I will be making some socks out of that shortly. And the other thing was I bought a little book, 20 mini quilt blocks to stitch, and it's Carolyn Forster. So it's just a little book with all the quilting as you go squares. So I thought that was quite appropriate, seeing as I was working on them. And there's just different ones in there for you to do. I thought stick to little sewing projects that I don't have to fit to my body, and I should be all right. So while we were away in the caravan, like I say, I discovered, I've always loved reading, but I didn't feel like I wanted to reach for crafting like I do at home. I think because in the evenings at home, you might sit and watch something on the telly, and then I'm just knitting or crocheting along. But when you're away, we don't have a television or anything. So it's nice and peaceful. And sometimes Martin will put his headphones in and listen to music, and I'll read because I can't read if there's any background noise. So we couldn't be downstairs with Martin watching the telly and me reading. I just couldn't do it. And even music, I like it nice and quiet. So I'll sit there and it's nice and peaceful, and I'll read a book. And my daughter Jodie lent me this one, and it's called The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. I don't know if you've read it. It was quite enjoyable. It held you quite, sort of, it was a page turner, but I found the ending a little bit abrupt. Now there is another book after this one, and she's lent that to me because she's read it already. But I'm keeping it to take away on our next trip, because we are going for just a little under 2 weeks, and I will need to take a couple of books. Now this book is about, I'll read the back for you. Every day I clean the Winchesters' beautiful house. I collect their daughter from school, and I cook a delicious meal for the whole family before heading up to eat alone in my tiny room on the top floor. I try to ignore how Nina Winchester makes a mess just to watch me clean it up, how she tells strange lies about her own daughter, and how her husband seems more broken every day. But it's hard not to imagine what it would be like to live Nina's life. The walk-in closet, the fancy car, the perfect husband. I only try on one of Nina's pristine white dresses once, but she soon finds out. And by the time I realise my bedroom door only locks from the outside, it's far too late. But the Winchesters don't know who I really am. They don't know what I'm capable of. It's good. I enjoyed it. So we all like reading, don't we, as well as crafting. So I just thought I'd share that with you. So that's everything I've been working on this month. And I am hoping to make another video quite soon, because I want to share what I am making in July. I am going to do a sort of Christmas in July video. And in my case, that means casting on or starting all the projects I want to do for Christmas. So I've had a couple of requests for things. My sister-in-law wants something, and she lives in America, so that means getting it finished and with her before the beginning of December. And Jodie wants something, and well, I've got several things, and I don't want to be really stressed or just working on those in sort of November, even maybe the beginning of December, and panicking. So I'm going to start them all in July and have plenty of time to get on with them. And I can also then fit in other things I want to do around them too. And I will, like I say, do a video on that to share with you. And if you feel like it would be nice, you could join in as well. Think about the projects that you want to make for Christmas, whether it's gifts or decorations or just something for yourself. And we could all start them at the beginning of July together. So that would be fun. So until that video comes out, stay safe and happy crafting, and I shall see you all soon. Bye.